I bet you have one of those laying around.
Yeah.
And I bet you could use one of these. Just one problem. You don't have any of that. Just what can you do? Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm your host Jeff, and in today's video, I'm going to attempt to make a poising tool. Now I first got this idea after looking at a pair of disposable razor blades and thought, well, if I could hold those flat enough and parallel enough, I could use those ground edges, the razor blade edge, to hold a balance wheel, therefore making a balance or a poising tool. So I got to work first drawing, then after exporting the model into a slicer, the slicer then generated the G&M codes that my 3D printer then used to produce the housing. Now, after several failed revisions, I ended up with this. Now, I printed it in this laying down orientation instead of upright because I wanted the mounting surface for the razor blade to be as straight as possible. And if I were to print in the upright position, that surface could have drooped. And so by laying it down flat, I've ensured that that is as straight as possible. Now next I'm adding these heat sets into my 3D print. This way I'm able to use off-the-shelf hardware, metal hardware specifically. Now I'm adding the last of the leveling feet heat sets. There we go, and now we're ready for assembly. I'll first start by taking my standard movement holder. You know, these typically come in your beginner kits and we all use them and quickly realize they're not worth too much. But we can't get rid of them, can we? Hopefully with this project we'll be able to remedy that. Now after ensuring that that surface is flat and smooth, I am then going to install the razor blades. And when doing so, I'm going to press that mounting surface against the back edge of the razor blade, and that should allow me to get as accurate of results as possible. There we go. And here's where the magic is. I want to tighten this screw while under tension. That will ensure that those two surfaces are as flat as possible, allowing us to be parallel and flat in the future. There we have it. And I took this spring out of a ballpoint pen, cut it in half. That way, there's a little bit of tension keeping the two razor blades apart. And then I can accurately set the height or the length of the balance staff to exactly how it needs to be. Last step is to add on this back plate, and I'll put on some leveling feet. And then we'll start to test this guy. After leveling, I'm using a balance wheel that's been pre-balanced, and this was out of a West Clocks pocket watch. And as you can see, we are slowly coming to a stop, which is what you want. Now, according to the Watch Repairer's Manual, written by Henry B. Fried, we want to make sure that we are touching the razor blade edges to the pivot surfaces. This will ensure that we're getting a proper poise. And I use various ways of testing that, trying with a brush, trying with an air blower. Here are some other tests that simultaneously this tool will do. This will also check for bent, oval, or flat spots. This will be very apparent. But when you have a nice smooth roll that gradually coasts to a stop, you're in the right area. You're getting close. And as you see, it seems to be working quite well. When you're first starting out, I know that's very expensive to get into, but if you could use something like this as a crutch to get started, at a hobbyist level, obviously. If you're doing professional work, you would need the Bergeon version, but not everybody does, and for some of us, this might be enough. It seems to be for me. So, thanks again for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Stay tuned. If you want me to post this file, I'll do so on Thingiverse. Just leave a comment down below. Thanks again for watching, guys. Take care.